Hello students, in this video we learn about the remainder theorem. What is a remainder theorem? As the name suggests, we look at the remainder in a division. So like in division, if we divide, let's say we divide 7 by 3. So you have here, this is how we do the division. Okay, 3 and it's dividing 7. So that's 3 2s are 6. 7 minus 6, we are left with 1. Now this comprises the remainder. Whatever remains after the division, we call it as the remainder. This is called as the quotient. Okay, what we use to divide the main number, and what gets divided is called as the dividend. And the number that actually divides the dividend is referred to as a divisor. Okay, so these are some terms which we have learned in the smaller classes, and now we revise it once again to understand what exactly is a remainder theorem. For that we need to know the parts of a division. So this, what divides a number, is called as a divisor. A divisor divides a number. What gets divided, the number that gets divided, is referred to as a dividend. When you divide a number with another number, means you use another number to get the number that is the dividend divided, that number is called as the quotient. Now once after division, if you are left with something, that is referred to as a remainder. What if you are not left with anything? If you are not left with anything, then your remainder will be 0. Okay, but here in this case we are left with a number, that is 1. So these are the parts of the division, and we need to know. Now in terms of polynomial and in terms of a variable, we denote them differently. For example, your remainder, okay, your remainder will be given as r of x, okay, and your quotient will be given as q of x. Similarly, you have designations for divisor and dividend too. Here the dividend is known as p of x, like your polynomial, and your divisor is known as g of x. So if you put it down over here, it would be something like this. Divisor is g of x, then you have dividend, which would be p of x. You have your quotient, which is q of x, easier to remember, q for quotient, and you have your remainder, once again easy to remember, r of x, r for remainder, r of x. So you have g of x, p of x, q of x, and r of x. So in terms of division, if we put it, it would be looking something like this in terms of this denotation, this polynomial variable. So g of x dividing p of x, and this is the quotient, and what comes below will be r of x. Okay, something like this. Now coming to the remainder theorem. So the remainder theorem is something like this. Erase this part, and what the remainder theorem says is, if you have your dividend, the dividend will be equal to your quotient, which gets multiplied with your divisor and added to the remainder. This is your remainder theorem. This is known as your remainder theorem. And in terms of these values, g of x, p of x, if we go to write, it would look something like this. So p of x equal to q of x into g of x plus r of x. Okay, this is your remainder theorem. So with the help of this remainder theorem, we can find out different quantities. For example, let's say dividend is given to us, but we need to find the divisor. And if we are given the quotient and the remainder, we can use them in this formula to get the divisor. Okay, so this remainder theorem is extensively used in the 10th standard, but we also use it over here if we need to find the remainder. For example, let's say we have been given a divisor of x minus 1. This is our g of x, and we have been given the dividend, which is x square plus 1, which would be p of x, and we need to find the remainder without actually dividing them. So in this case, if we put them in this particular formula, okay, p of x equal to q of x into g of x plus r of x, okay, and we say that g of x becomes equal to 0. If we put g of x equal to 0, then what will happen in this particular formula? This is what will happen. So q of x will remain like that, but instead of g of x, we'll put multiplied by 0 plus r of x. 0 into q of x will give us 0 plus r of x, that is p of x equal, that means p of x will be equal to r of x. So we just need to find out in this way the value of this polynomial, which is x. So if we find value of x, we will be able to gain the remainder for that matter, and for that we have to take g of x equal to 0. So g of x is x minus 1, so x minus 1 equal to 0, which means when we take 1 on the other side, we will get the value of x, which is equal to 1, and this 1 then we substitute in this x square plus 1. If we do that, that is in place of p of x, now p of x over here, if we put p of x over here, I'll just take this over here, and this is p of x, I'm just rewriting this, is equal to r of x as per this statement. Now instead of p of x, which is x square plus 1, we write over here x square plus 1, which is equal to r of x. Instead of x, which we have got equal to 1, if we put 1 whole square plus 1, this is how we'll get. So 1 whole square will get 1 plus 1 equal to r of x, and r of x then we get equal to 2. So that is our remainder. So this is how we can find out our remainder, okay, and through our remainder theorem. So this was just to show you. We will be solving in our next video problems where we find remainders, where the dividend has been given and the divisor has been given using the remainder theorem. Okay, so if you have liked this video, please hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe and share our videos and also the channel. Please click on the bell icon to get notified when we post a new video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.